Good evening, esteemed professors and fellow students. My name is Kerou Qiu. Today, I'm going to talk about what it means to be an inclusive manager. In the realm of contemporary management, being a leader is no longer about wielding authority. It's about fostering inclusion. As society continues to evolve and business become more diverse and interconnected, the role of inclusive leaders becomes critical. Today, I will dive into why it is critical to our increasingly diverse business environment. So, the first question is, what is inclusive leadership? Shore and his team believe that inclusion refers to the extent to which employees view themselves as respected members of their work team by experiencing treatment that satisfies their needs for belonging and uniqueness. Not only that, Randall and colleagues define inclusive leadership as a set of positive leadership behaviors that encourage team members to feel a sense of belonging and retain their identity within the group. It's the perfect blend that makes everyone feel like they belong in the company and keeps each person unique. Therefore, it is important to understand what inclusion means. Over the past decade, there has been growing interest in how leaders take inclusive action. The leaders' words and actions that invite others to contribute and express appreciation are at the heart of their leadership style. As these behaviors that make employees more receptive to inclusive leadership. Randall and colleagues further identified behavioral categories that inclusive leaders exhibit: 3 belongingness and 2 uniqueness. This is not only about making everyone feel like they belong, but also about valuing everyone's uniqueness so that the talent in the company can have different strengths and perspectives. So let's think about what makes inclusive leadership different from other leadership styles. The answer is that inclusive leadership places greater emphasis on employee diversity and inclusion than traditional leadership does. Inclusive leadership emphasizes that all team members should be considered, and leaders should accept the uniqueness and characteristics of each employee. Discover the strength of each employee so that each member can bring out their strengths while ensuring that they come together as one. Inclusive leaders tend to encourage diverse perspective in the decision-making process and are willing to value and consider diverse voices and perspectives. This is not only allowed everyone to participate, but also allow everyone to develop their own strength in their career and maximize the company's interests. So, let's reflect on the theoretical underpinning of this concept. Research suggests that certain individual leader differences are intrinsic to inclusive leadership. These include pro-diversity beliefs, humility, and cognitive complexity. These traits, coupled with the right behaviors, lead to team members feeling included, both in terms of belonging and being valued for their uniqueness. This feeling of inclusion, in turn, is associated with increased group identification, psychological empowerment, and positive behavioral outcomes like creativity, improved job performance, and reduced turnover. Now, let's return to our real-world example, Satya Nadella of Microsoft. Under Nadella's leadership, Microsoft launched diversity and inclusion training and programs such as the Microsoft LEAP program, which aims to provide those disadvantaged in traditional technology fields an opportunity to participate in technical work. Nadella's approach demonstrates his emphasis on diversity and inclusion, which he believes are key to driving innovation and growth at the company. Satya Nadella has moved the company from a know-it-all culture to a learn-it-all culture by driving cultural transformation and valuing diversity and inclusion change. He has demonstrated his status as an inclusive leader by encouraging employees to think openly and embrace different perspectives and backgrounds. It has also demonstrated his status as an inclusive leader through specific programs to ensure the companies to practice align with his leadership philosophy. So, what are the valuable qualities you need to possess as an inclusive leader? In today's diverse and ever-changing work environment, leadership requires more than strategy, vision, and decision-making skills, especially when we talk about inclusive leadership. Being brave, being humble, and being dedicated stand out. Being brave means having the courage to tackle different problems. In the sphere of inclusive leadership, this means acknowledging the systematic prejudice and bias that may exist in an organization. It's about championing policies that may be unpopular but are right. Inclusive leaders don't shy away from consideration about race, gender, sexual orientation, or any other area of diversity. They lead from the front, creating spaces where all voices are heard, valued, and respected. On the other hand, being humble revolves around cultural humility. It's about acknowledging that leaders don't have all the answers and being willing to learn from everyone, no matter their level or background. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella often emphasized the importance of learning and relearning, demonstrating how humility in leadership can redefine organizational culture. As the Reka Blackmon emphasizes in Inclusive Mindedness for Committed Allies, true inclusive leadership recognizes the endless scope for learning, especially from diverse groups. It acknowledges the limitations of one's knowledge and opens the door to richer and more diverse insights. Finally, being dedicated means being committed to the cause of inclusivity, not just in words but in deeds. As Nemhart and Edmondson describe, this is to demonstrate an invitation to appreciation for the contribution of others. Dedication is shown in day-to-day actions and in an ongoing effort to build inclusion into the fabric of the organization. It's about long-term vision and making sure that inclusivity isn't just a buzzword, but a living aspect of organizational culture. As a leader, the goal should be not only to capitalize on the growing diversity within your organization, but to truly embrace it and cultivate behaviors that include and value the contributions of every member. This is the future of effective leadership. In conclusion, as the world becomes more interconnected and diverse than ever before, we should be aware that leadership styles need to adapt to this change. Inclusive leadership not only ensures a harmonious work environment, but also draws on the unique strength of each individual to drive unrivaled success for teams and organizations. Therefore, becoming an inclusive leader and cultivating inclusive leadership are crucial to an enterprise and even society as a whole. That's all. Thanks for listening.